Hello everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger comic book review. Two announcements before we get into the books this week, which were released on
January 14, 2015, my birthday day, if that makes sense, twice.
So a couple of announcements. First one being on Friday, I did not realize this, I reached 2,000 subscribers. There will be a special live show this Friday. I mentioned it on Twitter, but for those of you that watch my videos and haven't followed me on Twitter yet, please do follow me on Twitter, by the way. This Friday will be a live show. Keep an eye on my Twitter, and I'll be letting out details about the live show and the time as the week progresses. Now, the second announcement is something I made on this past Friday, but I have a little bit of a correction. I made it on the whole video. I'll announce it here too because it's for this video. Starting with episode 275, which I believe is the first week of February, the Dark Avenger comic book reviews will be changing. The format will go from a comic review to a comic countdown. What does that mean, and is the numbering staying the same? Number one, the numbering is staying exactly the same. We're going to be continuing forward from 275 all the way through to 300, so don't worry, we are not renumbering the comic reviews, nor are we considering it an ending. We're just continuing forward under a new format. Also, instead of doing the books, for example, by company, DC, Marvel, Marvel, DC, we will be taking all of our books and putting them in ranking order from our least favorite to our top favorite of the week, and it's going to be part of the big two. Also, that means for the review, for the countdown, the biggest difference is we won't be going as in-depth with our reviews as we are right now on the comic review. We will be saving our in-depth reviews, or our deeper reviews, for our solo reviews on Comic Frontline, for the live shows every Tuesday on Comic Frontline, for the live shows that we do every Friday on my channel, whether it be Dark Avenger Live, It's a Podcast Live, or actually that's it, because the other two, one is for Holo Toys and one is for Epic Rewind. We'll see, maybe there'll be a Dark Avenger Live in between those 2 weeks, because it's 2 weeks of no talking comics. We'll figure that out, but the in-depth, the deeper reviews will be saved for those videos, and for the countdown it's going to be more of an abridged version of what we thought about the books, what happened in the books without giving too many spoilers away, and why it got the ranking it did, whether it be the highest or the lowest. And that's it. And how we'll do it is I'll go count down up to the number that Michael's up to, whether he, like for example, if he has only 7 books, when I get to my 7th book, that's where we'll bounce back and forth from our 7th to our 1st. Or if Mike only has 2 books, he'll start from number 2, whatever. But we're going to start from the lowest number all the way to the highest. Okay. And when Spider-Man starts up again, you'll be able to read it too. So we'll have some differences maybe in our ranking system. You never know. Anyway, let me waste no more time. So the changes, I'll be mentioning this all the way through until 275, but I'll be making smaller reminders.
And this is episode 272, so that means only three more.
And I believe there's 3 more weeks this month, if I'm not mistaken. There's 2 more this month. And
right,
the
so
third
I
one
think the
will be
second week of February.
About the second week.
It'll happen when we get to it.
Right.
So
anyway, into the books. We're starting with DC, and Digital First books always go first when it comes to DC. Smallville Continuity, issue number 2. The fight begins here. The knockdown, brawl-out, explosive battle between all the superheroes in the Smallville DCU up against the Monitors, and that's really it. With lots of dialogue, lots of forwarding with the story. Lex Luthor obviously tries to jump ship with the Monitors, but he wants to reshape the world in his image and not the Monitors' image, where they just want to reboot the world. And St. Walker makes an appearance here. There are a couple of deaths in here. Ending was pretty good, but at the same time, where was the ending? I want to remember it so I don't forget. But the ending kind of ended on, I believe, if I'm correct, yeah, it ends with a character being introduced.
Oh.
To stop the superheroes from stopping the Monitors. That's the long and short of it. There's lots of dialogue. There's lots of stuff between Lois and Clark. Lots of stuff between Lois and Lex. Lex finds out that Tess might still be out there somewhere, possibly. Really good stuff, and I'm enjoying it. Again, this is something you guys read digitally a month ago, so no real spoilers here unless you, like me, only read it in physical form. Then there were a couple of spoilers there, but for the most part, I like reading my books physically. The only digital books I read are the ones that I have a question mark for, or the ones that I'm not getting at the time. But anyway, all in all, I'm enjoying continuity. I feel bad. The more I read this, the further along it gets, the more I know that once continuity is over, Smallville is officially done. We've gone through 10 seasons on the TV through CW, and now we've gone through one comic series, which apparently didn't do as well as everybody thought it was, but unfortunately, Season 11 is where Smallville gets its big period, where Smallville's probably going to end. They say they're not picking up at Season 11, but you never know. The possibility is always out there. I don't think we're going to be seeing Season 11 for a while, if at all.
Alright, Mortal Kombat X issue number 1. The Sub-Zero and the Scorpion variant cover.
For record, I did not have a chance to read this book. I bought one because I like the Sub-Zero. I bought it mostly for the cover. Mike's going to be reviewing Mortal Kombat. If he likes it, if he doesn't, he won't. But I just got it because of the Sub-Zero cover, or else we wouldn't have two covers.
Right, and since I'm more of a Sub-Zero than a Scorpion, I'll be looking at the Sub-Zero cover then. So really, just to give a long and short of it, it's just the
really nice artwork.
It is nice artwork, but I don't want to show the blood. It is very bloody, but I'm going to show the ones not with blood. It's really the origin about Takada, I think that's how you say the name, and his father, S.H.I.E.L.D. And Scorpion wants, he asks...
Takada showed up as a DLC for, I forgot which...
I think it was like the...
Was it 9?
Two Mortal Kombats ago.
Yeah, he was DLC, but now they're bringing him to the forefront.
Right.
One thing I don't like about this book, if you're not familiar with Mortal Kombat and you're not familiar with the storyline of the game, you will not know anything that's going on in this book, and that's why Mike Spider-Slayer actually only gave this book a 1 star.
Right.
Because he had no clue what was going on, and it's not explained. So if you have no clue what's going on in Mortal Kombat, don't buy this book. It's just not worth it for you because there's no background. They throw you into it expecting you to know everything already.
Right. So, S.H.I.E.L.D. asks Scorpion to train his son, Takada. And there's like an origin story, which is, how his mother died and how, everything is come into play where Scorpion's like saying, like, I have to train you because, your father asked me to, and we don't run away from stuff. Here's the artwork, which is just absolutely beautifully drawn. And throughout the whole book, there is a Sub-Zero moment in here, and if you want to find out what happens, definitely read the book. So, it's really just Scorpion just teaching Takada how to be a stronger fighter and how to use his powers, but he's saying, you're just playing around and not using your things wisely, which is going to get you killed. So he assigns Fox to protect him in case of anything that happens. Then we get a Raiden moment that comes in that talks about the dagger and how there's cosmic things, that you have to protect Earth and everything. Fox gets possessed by something which leads him kidnapping Scorpion, and Takada actually saves Scorpion's life because Scorpion couldn't kill him or thought he killed him, but it was actually Takada that did that. And in the ending book, Raiden just, let's just say that he saw some visions that saying that, it's too late, it has begun. And if you want to find out more, definitely read the comic book to find out. It's really amazing. Like, I actually am a Mortal Kombat fan, and I wanted to pick this up, and I actually enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend you guys pick it up.
If you know what's going on.
If you know what's going on, but I'm around video games, so I know what's going on.
Right, but again, you don't want to falsely tell people. Yeah, it's a $3.99 book, so if you do not know Mortal Kombat, if you have no background, look it up on the internet and try to learn it yourself with the background. And then if you do, if you feel you're good enough to jump into the book, go for it. I'm telling you guys the truth. I haven't followed the games. He has, and I just looked through it with him now, and I've got no clue what's going on. But anyway, Superman Wonder Woman issue number 15. This is the Flash variant. We get the background story on who Magog really is. and why he became Magog. It turns out, a little bit of a spoiler here, this boy lost his friends, his family, his mom and dad, during the Apocalypse reign 5 years ago when the Justice League was formed and when the superheroes finally came into light. And he blames, for some reason, this is Superman, Wonder Woman, so he blames specifically Superman and Wonder Woman for what happened. So this mythical being, I'm not going to say who, read the book, gives him the ability to fight against and kill Superman and Wonder Woman, thus giving him the powers of Magog, who is a god, by the way. You can look up Magog. He is part of some type of a, I believe it's a Roman or an, I forget which god to look up. Biblical. He's a biblical god. But you see that there's a bit of a schism between Wonder Woman and Superman. She's kind of saying, you know, I'm the god of war, let me do the fighting, and you just worry about saving everyone. Here's some artwork, by the way. And Superman's kind of like, Diana, what are you doing? Why are you putting your faith only in me? And it's just continuing along the saying of faith and trust. And you see that that's kind of starting to not really bode well for Superman. He's starting to really question Diana. Diana wants to fight, and he wants to make sure that the people are safe. And Magog wants to sacrifice to people to show them that Superman and Wonder Woman aren't the heroes they should be looking up to. Really great stuff. Ending was really strong also. Again, though, I feel like all the villains, minus the Zod story, have focused on Wonder Woman. Hopefully after this story arc we'll get some Superman villains or something on Superman's side. I mean, the Zod story was really good. But again, we need more Superman villains, less Wonder Woman with the mythical gods and whatnot. But Magog technically is a villain from Superman Kingdom Comes, you know, gallery. So it is nice to see Magog. But all in all, really good book, really great artwork. Definitely could recommend it.
Alright. Justice League United, issue number 8.
Flash variant.
Flash
Mike the Flash variant.
Yep. Celebrating 75 years this year. And in this comic book, it's just the Legion of Superheroes who
good
are
artwork.
Yeah, great artwork actually. Who is in this the Infinite world, and it's just like everything is just the Infinity Rats, you know, reaching Earth, and where they time travel to. I want to show some artwork, like right here. Amazing artwork, by the way. And they're trying to find Ultra to stop him from, you know, taking over the Earth because of Bid, I think? I can't remember his name. From letting him destroy that. So they're trying to find a way to get to that time to stop that from happening. So John Jones and Supergirl are trying to go after them, and Hawkman comes in and tries to stop them. Then Legion of Superheroes are you know, helping John Jones get to Ultra, and it's too late. It already began. And Biff, that's his name. And Kara tries to do something to make a sacrifice to the team, but yeah. I think when they say it's a little too late, something big happens in the ending. Oh my goodness. Wait until the next issue, and how that's going to be, that's going to be a big problem. It was a great book. That's all I want to say for that.
Alright, we're in the weeklies now, and again, I feel like I'm reading these, and now I'm just like reading them to get them over with. World's End, issue number 15, I think was the weakest of the three this week. Again, for the, what, 5th time now in the Earth 2 existence, Superman has sacrificed himself to save the world. This time he sacrificed himself to save Lois, Power Girl, Batman, and the new Superman. Zod. Really? Val Zod. They call him Val because technically he isn't Zod. Jimmy loses the what do you call it? The Mother Box. And we get more background on the Furies, how to stop them, etc., etc. It just like, okay, and the avatars are failing little bits at a time, and you see Dick Grayson's kind of finally coming into fighting to find his son. I still cannot remember the man's name.
John? No, not Johnny.
No. Johnny's his son's name.
I know, I just remembered.
Basically Wildcat, and like I said, Superman makes the ultimate sacrifice to save everybody and dies for the umpteenth time now. And he manages to free the Avatar of the Red, which is the one Avatar the other Avatars were missing, and that's why they've been failing. We all know how World's End is gonna end, and we all know that Future's End is leading to Convergence, and we all know that Batman Eternal now is just basically... It's already... Batman, the comic book, is already continued forward after Batman Eternal, so at this point it's just a run on when is it over, and the answer to that question to all three of these weeklies is it's over in March, and I couldn't be happier, to be honest, because at this point, I'm not going to stop. It's so close to being over now. I mean, we're in January, February, March.
Basically,
2 more
you
months.
want to just complete the series.
There's no reason to stop now with only 2 months left. If I wanted to stop, I should have stopped, 20 weeks ago? We're up to issue 37 Future's End, 41 on Batman Eternal. Next week, there's a countdown of 10 issues left to go. Why stop now with only 10 issues left? Future's End, 37. You got Amethyst, who believes she's killed John Constantine. However, he's astrologically projecting himself because he's in Smallville with Superman, and they're trying to find Brainiac. Firestorm tries to separate herself. However, Dr. Polaris shows up again, and it's up to them to stop him, but they still want to separate. So, something happens to 50 Sue in this book, which, I don't know. Looks like 50 Sue might be done. Not too sure, but yeah, it was a pretty dark scene. I kind of was upset too, and you really grow to not like 50 Sue, but at the same time there was a lot of potential for her character. And then Terry reaches out to Tim, and that's when Joker Batman, or Brother Eye Joker Batman, shows up.
You showing the artwork?
I can show some artwork there. Thank you. Again, just doing this till Convergence happens, because obviously this isn't going to happen in the DC Universe's future. This is basically the end of the New 52. Probably after Convergence, the New 52 logo will be gone, and it'll just be DC Comics again. I don't know. At this point, I don't know anymore. I'm just tired of seeing the New 52, and we're, issue 30-something into the series already? Most of them? Batman Eternal issue 41, we find out who's behind the little nanite robots, and it turns out it's Mad Hatter, spoiler alert, and he actually, the cover says it all, he gains control of Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and Barbara Gordon, aka Batgirl, Red Robin, and Red Hood. So it's left up to basically, and there's no Batman really in this book, by the way. It's left up to Harper Row to actually save the day. Tim kind of gives her a bit of a pep talk and says, don't make that decision until, you're 100% sure this is the road you're going to go down. And, well, last page says it all.
Let me see it. Oh.
With Batman Eternal, I feel like this is just another Batman story. It's just because it was Batman's 75th anniversary, they wanted to tell it on a grander scale. They wanted to do a 52-issue run where fundamental changes would happen to Batman. I can understand that. I can appreciate that. I respect that. But there have been so many issues in this series that have been down. When it came to the other weeklies, you need to find a middle ground when it comes to these weeklies and at least stick to that. I mean, it doesn't have to be amazing, but it can't be bad all the time either, where your readers are just reading through it to get through it. And at this point, all three weeklies, I feel like I'm reading through them to get through them. I leave all three of these books for the end of my reading for each week, because I know I'm going to breeze through them, because these are books that I'm reading every single week, and it's tedious. There's 3 of them, and I'm glad I'm not reading Wolverines, because if I was there before, I don't understand why Marvel didn't wait for DC's to finish, because obviously the sales are okay for the book because they're continuing in March, but again, 3 weekly series, I think DC pushed it too far with 3. I think 2, honestly, was really pushing it. But with 3, again, obviously, if you're not into Batman, you won't be reading Batman Eternal. But for a person like me who's reading, into all 3 of these weeklies, it's a bit tedious. It's a bit tedious, and it feels like a chore to read them each and every week. We're now in Marvel Comics. I just want to see the time real quick. We're good. A book that the first time around didn't disappoint me, but this time around did. Spider-Verse issue 2 of 2. Short stories talking about more of the spider people in the Spider-Verse, so to speak. And the first story has, oh god, what was it? Jungle Spider? Or was it? I don't even know. I know Dan Slott wrote it. But Maximum Spider gets eliminated by Morlun, and apparently looks like it's a video game. And then, like I said, you just get backgrounds on other characters. Second story is about the rock and roll or the punk version of Spider-Man.
Seriously?
We get to see him. It's more of an epilogue for his character, which was nice. The artwork was a bit sketchy, but it was nice. There was some... This story was pretty nice with the artwork. Another Spider-Man. And I believe it concluded with this... It concluded with Earth 1, where there's the big fight going on. It's kind of a little short where the original Spider-Man and the Black Suit Spider-Man run out of web fluid, and they're trying to see what the big difference between the two of them are. And basically, they're almost identical minus their costumes. And I love how in the end it says, see more of one of these Spider-Men this summer. Now, obviously, we're seeing the original Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man. The Black Suit Spider-Man I noticed in Spider-Man and the X-Men. And that's close. That's in March. That's when spring starts. So maybe we'll see the return of the black costume. Maybe this was a cheeky way of saying, hey, you got something to possibly look forward to. And it's not the symbiote spider costume, by the way. It was a regular black.
Right.
It was a regular black costume after he lost the symbiote. Again, though, for $5, this was worth nothing but a skip. I would not pay $5 for this book if I was casually reading Spider-Verse. Me, I like to read completely. I wanted to read Spider-Verse completely, so for me, I needed this. But for a casual reader, or for somebody who's looking to hold on to money if they can, you could hold your $5 for this book. There was nothing special that happened in this book, and nothing that pushes the story forward or has anything to do with Spider-Verse whatsoever. You could continue with Amazing Spider-Man and the other connected miniseries and ongoing series like Spider-Woman, Spider-Woman, the Scarlet Spider and stuff, and you'll be fine. You didn't need Spider-Verse issue 1, and you don't need Spider-Verse issue number 2. My opinion, of course. Captain Marvel issue 11. This series is starting to wear thin for me also, and it's because it's little stories. Really nothing major's happening in the book. And I feel like that's what's happening with Star-Lord a little bit also for me. It's like I'm enjoying the character. I'm enjoying Carol as Captain Marvel. But at the same time, the stories just aren't holding me. This time, Carol's back on Earth for one day. And she's spending time with this woman who is hospitalized. And it turns out one of the people she put away in jail, I forget her name. It was mentioned right at the... here. Grace Valentine and June... Covington, they basically want to get her powers, so they arrest her, they bring her somewhere, and then there's this guy that's dressed as Santa Claus. It's a bum, one of those Rent-a-Santa Clauses. Yeah. And Carol breaks free eventually, and it turns out that this Rent-a-Santa Claus, I'm not joking here, really is Santa Claus. So apparently there is a Santa Claus in the Marvel Universe.
Well, of course there is.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
So it's Captain Marvel and Santa Claus versus these two women, and they knock them both out. However, there's a problem at the end of the book, and Carol solves it at the end. That's really it. And it was a nice holiday issue. However, it's a month late. This was more of a Christmas-esque issue. Maybe there were delays. I don't know. But after reading this, I felt like this would have been perfect for last month. We are now in the second week of January. Christmas, you are either late by a couple of weeks, or you are 12 months too early, Marvel. Hopefully next time won't be in January. It'll be on December. Again, a nice book. I'll see where this series goes. If it doesn't go anywhere, then it'll go the way of all books that don't go anywhere.
And it's been like a long time since I've seen a title of this. Thanos versus Hulk issue number 2. It just feels like forever since I've read issue number 1, but I do remember what happened though. It's just basically Thanos getting into the negative zone where Hulk and Banner are. Here's some artwork. And you just see Thanos just trying to get some answers from David Banner about analysts and like how, like who he's working for an analyst, and he just beats Hulk like right here. Definitely just, and you know, like saying, you know, he's the Hulk. How would he get knocked out by that? But there's a way how he gets powerful, which I will explain as the issue continues. Pitt tries to get into the negative zone, and he tries to find his ways around there. And basically, Thanos is saying that, you know, what your purpose working for analysts, and if you don't tell me, I'm just going to kill the Hulk, basically. And as the issue continues on, it seems that the only way the Hulk could be powerful is if David Banner...
Bruce Banner.
Oh, Bruce Banner, sorry. Bruce Banner...
David Banner is from the TV show.
Bruce Banner. Is on the Hulk, and then he becomes powerful that way. Because the Hulk in Banner is basically what makes the Hulk stronger. Right. And then basically, Analyst gets his way into the negative zone, throws out Thanos just to save the both of them, and now basically now they have to find out what to do with the Hulk for an experiment. And then that's basically the whole gist of the book.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is a versus book, I will say that, because there was a confrontation between both Hulk and Thanos. But for the next 2 issues, I'll just see how it plays out, see how it goes.
Empire of the Dead Act 2, issue 5 of 5. I will say this right off the bat, and I was hoping for this. At the end of this issue, it leads into Act 3, which starts in April, which I'm very happy about. Marvel released their solicits this past week. Hold on a second, and we are at 36 seconds, so we'll get into this in just one moment. So give us 1 second, and we will be right back. Alright, we're back, and I was talking about Empire of the Dead Act number 2. This issue ends on a cliffhanger, sort of. We still know nothing about Paul or how he knows that the mayor is a vampire. However, spoiler alert, minor spoiler alert here, he goes to, and I have to show artwork anyway, I keep forgetting the doctor's name. Her name is just so forgettable, and I know it starts with an A, and it's so funny because I'm going to open it up and I'm going to go, oh yeah. No, it doesn't start with an A, it starts with P. Penny Jones. He goes to Penny and he admits to her that, you know, he understands what's going on with the bite marks, and he said that Penny's been bit already and she's been contaminated, but it's not too late to stop the effects. She doesn't believe him at first, but then she does. And unfortunately, their conversation gets cut off, so he doesn't finish it, and he wants to finish the conversation with Penny. However, we find out that the mayor's wife, spoiler alert here, like Penny, Paul was in love with her too, but she left Paul to be with the mayor. Now this is going to be with Penny. This is the second woman the mayor tried to steal from him. Also going on in the background is that other guy that's running against the mayor. The mayor can't find him to kill him. So basically the mayor now has a running opponent that possibly might beat him. And there's an ending with the mayor's wife goes to Paul, like I said, and tells him a bit of a secret, which I'm not going to spoil here, but it does involve the ending of this book, and the ending also involves somebody being shot. One of the characters being shot, and I'm not going to say who the character is. I leave this until Act 3, so unfortunately, I'm leaving you guys at the cliffhanger here too. Empire of the Dead Act 2 focused a lot on the mayor. I liked it, but at the same time, hopefully with Act 3, like I said, we'll go back to focusing on the zombies, focusing on Paul a little bit more, because I feel like Act 2 is a lot mayor, and what's going on with the mayor. It's very mayor-centric. Hopefully the 3rd chapter, we get some answers to the questions that we didn't get answered in Act 2. We get some more zombies in there, because that's the whole point of Empire of the Dead. Even though zombies, vampires are in this universe now, I would like it to focus, because it is based after Night of the Living Dead, I would like it to focus back on the main, course, which was the zombies. Really good book. I would definitely recommend checking out Act 1, checking out Act 2, and getting ready for Act 3 in April. We are going to be getting that, and let's see, we're in January, February, March, April, in 3 months. So we're taking a 3-month break from Empire of the Dead, and then we're jumping right back into it. I'm excited for when Empire of the Dead comes back, and hopefully it'll be really, really good. Next, Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 9. The conclusion to Miles' father's background. I'm not going to get too into it, but Miles' father was a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. He walked away from it. He wishes he didn't walk away from it, and then he had a hard time dealing with Miles, not because he blamed Miles for the mother's death, but because Miles is doing exactly what he's doing, except Miles is continuing, and the father didn't continue. And now he's back, and their relationship is going to be, back intact with, of course, all the new stuff going on. And maybe finally we can get into the main story, which is Hydra. I mean, every cover has had either Miles dressed as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or, Hydra. The next cover actually has Hydra on it. And I'm going to say this, I'm not happy about the announcement that, I'll give you some artwork I want to find. Toad was actually guest starring in this book also, but I'm not happy to announce that the issue in April of Ultimate Spider-Man is the finale. So apparently Ultimate Spider-Man is ending. Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man, will be ending in April, and I'm not happy about that. I'm sure a lot of fans are not happy about that, but maybe they'll start another volume again. I mean, Marvel's been notorious for, trying not to make it up to issue 50, but this is only an issue 9 figure. In 3 more months, it's only going to be in 12. So it's kind of a really quick run. I mean, ever since Galactus tried to destroy the Ultimate Universe, I feel like the Ultimate Universe kind of skid down. It's too bad you can't go back in time and undo Ultimatum. I feel like if you had more characters in the Ultimate Universe right now, the Ultimate Universe would be doing a whole lot better than what it is right now. And it shows, because if Miles Morales is being canceled, that's the best book out of the Ultimate Universe. That says something.
Yeah. S.H.I.E.L.D. issue number 2. And in this book, it has a new... Well, it has a superhero in this one that comes in the comic book. Starts off really where Gemma Simmons is being a substitute teacher in a classroom. Oh, I'm sorry. Blair? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is my mistake. And there's like a distraction that the students set off, which is this right here. I like the artwork, by the way. And who's the one that makes the appearance in this? It is actually Miss Marvel. And I actually thought that was pretty awesome to see Miss Marvel help out, while Phil Coulson is talking to Grayson Blair about how to deactivate the glove, of what was set off as the distraction. There is a lot of heavy dialogue, and there's also lots of puking going on after they ate that pizza, and it gets very out of control. But Miss Marvel actually, as a spoiler, she actually absorbs them in that bowl of dough or something like that. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Basically, just a big bowl where it's all in there, and just gets it out of the school so no one else gets that disease. And there's also a very nice note Miss Marvel left to saying, like, call me if it all gets a bit too much, or a bit much, so that way she can help out. So I thought that was actually really nice. And I actually enjoyed this. Just seeing different kinds of superheroes in a one-issue comic book, I think, is the best way for the S.H.I.E.L.D. book to go to lots of great things. So it's going really well for the second issue.
Good. Daredevil issue number 12. It's all revealed here. It turns out that George isn't exactly what he seems. Or the whole first issue wasn't what it seemed. I don't want to give too many twists and turns away because Mark Waid did an amazing job. But let's just say a lot of this was planned out, and we find out who the person orchestrating everything actually was And you guys will be shocked to hear who it is when you read this book. I don't want to spoil it because it's really good. It was a good mystery up until the end. Very good writing, very good artwork, and it ended with what would I say? It ended on a very romantic note with what's her name? Matt and they're not gonna have her in the beginning. No, not Natasha. What is Natasha?
What? I'm trying to figure out.
Kristen.
Oh.
So it was a really good book. I'm giving you as brief as I can because as the story unfolds from before the middle of the book, you start to see who's behind everything, and you see that George's life isn't as in danger as it seems in the beginning. There is a scene where Daredevil's riding up the bridge on his bike, and it turns out his bike was booby-trapped, and he was beating George, so it exploded, and it was good. I'm sorry, but this was a really, really good issue. I definitely would recommend checking that out. Book of the week for me, and welcome to the Big Two. Because this used to be part of the indie review, but now no longer with Dark Horse, now with Marvel, is Star Wars, and this is Star Wars issue number 1. Now, to my knowledge, I guess Marvel is not going to give nods to anything Dark Horse has done. There's no references to any of the previous miniseries. There is a Padawan miniseries, or a series that's starting in April. The Marvel solicits, by the way, are out for April. We're going to have this, Darth Vader, Princess Leia, and this other series spinning out of it. This was a $5 book for the first issue, the big Welcome Home issue, and there were covers from A to Z. I obviously got cover A because I liked it from the moment it was solicited. The only other cover I could say I would have gotten would have been the photo cover because it was the same price. And if Alex Ross's cover was the same price, I probably would have gotten Alex Ross's. But I'm not paying, I believe it was $20 or $30 for Alex Ross's cover. And there's just absolutely no way. I love Alex Ross's work, but there is no way I'm paying more than cover price for a comic book. So this takes up right after episode 4. The Death Star was destroyed. Luke and Han got their medals, and here we go. And I believe it also takes place after the omnibus, which just came out from Marvel Star Wars. Now, to my knowledge, before reading this book, Star Wars did horrible in the Marvel line, and that's why they lost. They got rid of, or they lost. I don't know how, but Star Wars left Marvel, and Dark Horse took it. And so did G.I. Joe and Transformers. IDW still has both of those titles. However, Star Wars is owned by Disney now. Disney owns Marvel. The contract was up for Dark Horse, and Dark Horse was told basically, well, we own Marvel, so Marvel's going to be making the Star Wars book. So here we go. Star Wars, issue number 1. Was it good or wasn't it? And I like how they have the Black Series advertised right in the back. I did actually get one of the Stormtroopers from the Black Series. I did see Luke and I did see Darth Vader, but for right now I'm going to focus on the book. So, Han Solo is still not known as a rebel, and he goes in undercover as an emissary of Jabba the Hutt, because now, after the Death Star is destroyed, the Empire is using Tatooine as a industrial yard, or that's where all of the stuff is being made for the Imperial armies, like ships and everything like that, and the rebels are going in to destroy it. And with Han is obviously Chewie, Luke, and Leia, and the artist in this book is amazing. So they're looking to destroy the base. Luke finds out that there are slaves on the base, and he frees them, and you get some nice lightsaber action going on. The artwork, like I said, brilliant work with the lightsaber. It turns out that the person who's going to do the negotiations with the emissaries of Jabba the Hutt, spoiler alert here, was Darth Vader.
I mean, who didn't see that coming?
And when Leia finds out that Darth Vader's on the planet, Chewie is like their backup, hiding in the rafters somewhere. And when Leia hears Vader's there, she tells Chewie, "Don't worry about us. Let us get captured. Take the shot. Destroy Darth Vader once and for all." We all know that that doesn't happen, because Darth Vader doesn't die till episode, what, 6? Mm-hmm. So basically, all hell breaks loose, and anything that could happen to worsen the situation happens. Things just go from worse to worse to worse till they find an Imperial walker. However, Luke is looking, since he found out Darth Vader is there, Luke is looking for Darth Vader to get revenge for his father, whom he still doesn't know Darth Vader is his father, and for Ben Kenobi's death. And it ends with...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It ends with a really epic ending, and then at the very end, this is what I don't like, though. See, that's the end of the issue, and then you get all this extra, and what is this extra? A sneak preview from the pages of Darth Vader, which the artwork looks, oh my god, so good for the Darth Vader miniseries that's going to be coming out. And then the you get a little bit of artwork from the Princess Leia story arc, which I'm used to seeing because this was in Guardians of the Galaxy for a time and a few other books I've read, so that looks really good also. So all in all, we've got some really good Star Wars series coming. And for the first issue of Star Wars, I really liked it. I was very worried when I heard Star Wars was leaving Dark Horse, but I will say Marvel set up a really good book with issue number 1. I cannot wait to continue forward with Star Wars. Obviously, the $5 price tag won't continue with it. Thank you, God. However, there will be other miniseries attached to it, and if they're not good, I'll drop them. But the main Star Wars series is really good. I'm really liking it, and hopefully it will stay this way. Jason Aaron is a good writer, so I have faith in Jason Aaron. And the artist in this book better stick around for a while. The artist is John Cassaday. So, really good stuff. Highly recommend you guys check out Star Wars issue number 1. It's home, as they say. I wouldn't consider Marvel or anywhere Star Wars home. I consider Disney Star Wars home. But
and as always, may the Force be with you. Or if you want to go Spaceballs, may the Schwartz.
Anyway, Star Wars issue number 1 was a spectacular book this week, deserving of my number 1 spot. If this was a countdown, that would be my number 1 book of the week. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. 3 more weeks worth of reviews, and then we are going into the countdown. So remember, guys, 3 more weeks. I'll be reminding you guys for the next 3 weeks. Anyway, as always, don't forget to check out comic-related Comic Frontline Zone 4 podcast and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together, we are your number 1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. You can feel free to leave comments below, likes, dislikes, agree, disagree, recommendations, and we will answer your guys' comments in the comments below. And until next time, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys in the next review.
Later, everybody.